Hey, it's David Weaver with Franchise Your Freedom. Today, I want to share with you a couple of stories about franchise financing and funding your dream of business ownership. So, in the last couple of weeks, I had three different candidates that had wildly different expectations or understanding about financing a small business. One candidate, Jessica, was in supply chain, and given everything that's in the logistics business today, she was interested in starting something completely new. Her understanding was that banks aren't lending to small businesses, and the only way for her to start a business was to use cash. Um, the second candidate, Ali, was in the insurance business, and he was convinced that banks are happy to lend money to restaurants as long as they're franchises, because a friend of his just got into a new restaurant and financing was very easy. Come to find out that that friend also owned 10 Dairy Queens and therefore had been in the restaurant business, etc. So that connection wasn't necessarily the same for somebody coming out of the insurance business. And then the third candidate, Sam, just really had no idea how to finance a business, and really was kind of a clean slate. So just didn't understand how much does a business cost to get open, what are the parameters around that. So just was very open-minded to learning about all the different aspects of financing a business. The point is that people come to me all the time wanting the dream of business ownership, and they just don't know exactly how to get from A to B. Part of being a franchise expert and being a consultant for over a decade means that I have relationships with the very best in the franchise specific lending area. And one of the things that I wanted to offer today was a monthly webinar with my finance partner, FranFund, out of Fort Worth, Texas. And they offer a franchise financing basics webinar where they give you updates on the current landscape in the small business lending space. So obviously, small business lending was different in 2018 than it was in 2020 with COVID. And frankly, it's different today in 2022 than it was back in 2020. So my advice is, when you're thinking about starting a business, start with the facts that are specific to your situation and your financial background and your personal business background, because all of these factors play into your ability to get the funding for the business that you want to work with. And the good news is I've got finance partners that are happy to help you with that. So you can find the link to the monthly webinar in the comments below, as well as my contact information. If you have any questions specific to funding your dream of business ownership, I'm happy to talk with you about it. David Weaver with Franchise Your Freedom.